time for part 2 of the Bluey ranking list. We removed all the other episodes because we're just focusing on season 2 today. But yeah, it's time to do probably my second favorite season. I love season 3 so far the most, but season 2 is really good. I finished watching all the episodes last night. Yeah, I kind of binged like the entirety of season 2 in like 2 days. I've watched so much Bluey now. Let's do it with season 3. But yeah, we're gonna start off instantly with a love it. Dance mode is one of my favorite episodes of Bluey season 2. Um, Bingo gets upset because Dad ate her last chip, and so they make it up to her by giving her the power of dance mode, which basically just lets her make the family dance at any moment that she wants them to. However, they keep taking her dance modes. I think Bluey takes one, and the mom takes one, and Bingo gets upset about it. And then at the end, they have like a huge dance party. I love this episode. We're already starting off with like the most positive we can get. Because I really love this episode. And you're going to find a lot of episodes in this are like higher ranked than last time. But yeah, next up, Hammer Barn. I'm gonna put this in the like it because I do like this episode. They go to like a hardware store to get stuff because the dad wants to buy a pizza oven because their next door neighbor bought one, and then it turns out Bluey and Bingo just keep fighting in the store about wanting the same thing. It's a fun episode. I like that. I like this one. It's a really fun episode. Feather Wand, I'm also putting it in the like it. Bingo is upset that she doesn't get invited to a birthday party, so then she picks up a feather, and then she's like, I'm going to make everything heavy. Which, like, very much slows down Bluey and Chili leaving the house to go to the birthday party of Chloe, I think it is. It's a fun episode to watch. I like it. It's really fun. Next up, Squash. I'm gonna put this in the I like it too. It's a Stripe episode. Bandit and Stripe are playing squash, but Bandit keeps like getting better. It just like is better than Stripe, and Bingo attributes that to Bluey is just better than her. But she inspires Stripe to win the next round, like defeating Bandit. This is a fun episode. I'd actually move Feather Wand if I could move it. Like, why don't it move? I'll put Feather Wand right here because it is a really good episode. Hairdressers, I'm gonna put it in okay. I did like it, but the fact that they kept just beating the crap out of Dad throughout the episode was just kind of a little too much. They play as hairdressers, but then they find out that the dad has knits, which I don't know what knits are. Can look up the Wikipedia page. Oh, it's not anything I can understand. It's supposed to be lice or something? I don't know. But yeah, there's an ending scene. All the other part of the episode is that Bingo is trying to get words out, but she can't. She just can't think of anything that day. And so she's trying to get words out, but Bluey keeps kind of like interrupting her and stuff. And at the end, she comes up with the most sadistic idea of literally hanging Dad upside down from the tree and throwing water balloons at him and then covering him in flour and then beating him with a rake. It's a pretty funny ending. Stumpfest, I'm also gonna put and I like it. It's a fun episode. The Bluey, Muffin, and Bingo are trying to have a nail salon on a stump, but Bluey had already previously promised her dad that they could remove the stump after they got done with the first stump they were trying to remove, and then she kind of like goes back on her promise, and like that's not really happy about that. Not exactly really happy about that. But it's a fun episode. Any episode that just has the trio of Bandit, Stripe, and Pat is just beautiful because they're like the best of the adult characters, in my opinion. So yeah, next up, favorite thing. I'm gonna put it in. If I can like not do this, I'm gonna put it right here, and it's okay. Better than hairdressers. It's fine. The family just basically talks about what their favorite things are throughout the day, and then Bluey's kind of embarrasses Bingo on accident. She wasn't trying to, and Bingo gets upset, so they try to cheer her up. It's, yeah. See, I told you Bluey was trying to be nicer in season 2 when compared to season 1, but yeah. Kind of just accidentally makes her upset there. It's an okay episode. Daddy Drop Off. This is where we meet Bingo's best friend Leela. As the dad has to drop Bingo and Bluey off to school, and because he showed up late, she got to meet Leela, and they became best friends ever since. And of course, it has to have the ending scene of them growing of the duo growing up together. I'm gonna put it at the top of It's Okay because it's just a really good episode. I like it. It's a really good one. Bingo. It's the only episode in the entire series to have a orange background because it's entirely stylized around Bingo. It also has a different intro, which is so funny. The intro, they change it up. They change up the intro where like right when it's about the part where they're supposed to get Bingo out, Bluey keeps dancing, and they're like, Bluey? And it's so funny because it's like they weren't expecting it. But yeah, the whole episode is just Bingo's trying to occupy herself with Chili working, and then Bluey and Bandit off somewhere. Yeah, I'm gonna put it probably about right here in the It's Okay. It's a really standout episode. Just like it's orange compared to the other blue ones. It's okay. It's an okay episode. Rug Island. I do like this one a lot. It's a fun one. We're gonna put it right. I still think Daddy Drop Off's better, but I do like Rug Island. Rug Island. Essentially, the kids are making a tropical island on a rug, and then the dad, who has to go to work, washes up on the island. And they treat him terribly because he's grown up. Well, Bluey does. Bingo's like, oh, come on, he's awesome. And then, like, he ends up doing something for the kids at the end, and then, like, he becomes not a grown up anymore. It's a fun episode. Charades. Bluey, Bingo, Muffin, and Socks are playing charades at their Nana's house, and Muffin just keeps getting upset because she wants to have a specific card, but they can't. But, it's not how the rules of charades work. I think it's probably, I'd say right there. Muffin is kind of a little bit of a, I don't want to say any bad words. She's kind of just mean in this episode. Which I get it. She's a little kid, but you know what? It's just, I don't know. This one just wasn't exactly one that I cared for that much. Sticky Gecko is next. Mom is trying. I'm actually gonna move. I'm gonna keep the other one up there actually. Sticky Gecko. Uh, Chili is trying to get Bluey and Bingo out of the house one day because they're heading towards a play date, but the kids just don't have any concept of time and so are like really slow to getting out of the house, and like she keeps like getting upset about it. I think it's got a good background soundtrack as well. So we're gonna put it probably, I think it would be better than Bingo, but that's about it. We'll put it right there, right in front of Bingo. It's a good episode. The episode that's not on Disney Plus. I love this episode. I'm sorry that I hate that it's not on Disney Plus because this is one of my favorite episodes of the season. It is such a fun episode to watch from beginning to end. It made me laugh the entire episode, and then the end, when like the last 3 minutes are probably some of the funniest moments I've ever watched in Bluey ever, where like Pat is trying to help Bandit give birth. It's a long story. Um, the kids find Bandit's old. I have no idea what it's called. I'll look it up here. Her old baby sling that they used to carry around the babies, carry around Bluey and Bingo, and so they come up with the idea, just like, yeah, let's make Dad be pregnant, and he can, you know, carry us around the house, carry Bingo around the house like she's his baby. It was fun. Okay, you have to watch it to understand how amazing of an episode it is. It makes me laugh every time I watch it. Trains. It's just one of those generic Bluey episodes where the family's all involved in playing a game. They're playing trains where uh their dad is a train, and yeah, Bingo and Bluey are the passengers in the train, and it's just kind of one of those eh, episodes where like I don't care about it really. It's just another one of those episodes where like the family is having all together, they're playing games, and it's just a boring episode in my opinion. Honestly, it's not bad. It's just eh, I'd say. Mom's school. Bluey's trying to um I can't think of, when I keep trying to explain this, I can't think of what I'm trying to say. Uh, Bluey has kids. Long story. They're just balloons. And she's getting advice from her mom on how to be a mom. She's bad at it. She smacks her kids around with a baton. I'm worried about Bluey's kids in the future. I'd probably put it right here, honestly. It's a boring-ish episode. It's one of those episodes that I don't usually look forward to when watching season two. But you know what? It's a fine episode, all in all, I'd say. Army, yeah, you're going up here in the love it. This is a good episode. This episode was the first episode to have Jack, who I think has ADHD, I think is what they like claim he has, what people claim he has. He has problems sitting still and following directions and remembering things. So Calypso, when he goes to a new school, which is Calypso's school, she has him play with Rusty, and they play Army, and it's such a beautiful episode to watch them play Army and to watch Jack just like have fun with Rusty. It's a fun episode. It is definitely in the love it. It's a good one. One that I would probably recommend to people who want to first watch the show. Like, I definitely recommend Army. It's a good one. Also, if you go on Disney Plus, absolutely none of these episodes are in the right order. Um, yeah, Dance Mode I think is like number 3, and then it goes to Hammer Barn, Feather Wand, Squash. Yeah, it's just out of order on Disney Plus. I don't even think Mum School appears for a little while into the season. Same thing with Trains. But yeah, these episodes are just out of order because Disney Plus just does not like to do it in order. But I still watched all the episodes except for Dad Baby. I had to watch it someplace else. Fancy restaurant. The kids are trying to get mom and dad to kiss, so they throw a fancy restaurant to try and get them on a date. But the parents have kind of lost understanding of what it means to be romantic because they're parents and they have to deal with children every moment of every day, and they're kind of tired all the time. I'd put this probably somewhere in the it's okay section, probably better than Sticky Gecko. Also, like, a lot of these episodes have nothing, like, the name of the episode has nothing to do with the episode. Okay, so we'll say right here, Sticky Gecko. The name of the episode just is down to this sticky toy that the kids have that they throw up against the ceiling in order to stick to the ceiling, and then like that's kind of the thing in the episode that it's all based around is like waiting for that gecko to fall. But like the whole episode is just not related to that whatsoever. But yeah, a lot of these episodes just don't have anything to do with the title, which you'll see later. Um, yeah, Fancy Restaurant's a pretty neat one. I'd say it's a good one, in my opinion. Piggyback. Bingo is tired of walking. On a trip to the beach and keeps asking her dad to give her a piggyback ride. And the dad's like, no, walk. And she's like, no. But then she like walks the whole way, and then she's like, oh, okay, you know what? I'll just walk back. Yee. No. I think it's probably better than Mum School and Charades, but I think it's probably about. Dang it, it's so hard to move these things around. Probably about right here between Favorite Thing and Trains. It's an okay one. It's not really good. The show. This one's a tough one because I do like the episode. I mean, it's not the best episode, I won't say. But what makes this episode better is that it started one of the big fan theories in Bluey that Chili had a miscarriage, which was like a big fan theory in the show. And then recently, I think they were talking about one of the newer episodes, like Dragon, I think, in a Bluey podcast. And the creator of the show mentioned that, yeah, this episode was about that. So it like confirmed a fan theory. And I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. And also, wow, that's crazy. She had a miscarriage. It makes so much sense why she cares about her children. No, that sounded weird. It makes no sense why she's so. Uh, you'll see in a later episode. I think it's called. It's somewhere later. It's called Baby Race. You'll see. There's she acts like she's failing as a parent, and with this episode, it makes sense with the theory being confirmed why she felt like she was failing. But yeah, I'm gonna put this in the like it. It's a really good episode. Probably better than Stumpfest, but that'll be it. It's a really good one. Yeah, the whole premise of that is just like Bluey and Bingo are trying to put on a show for their mom for Mother's Day, but Bingo just there's a mishap and Bingo gets upset because she feels like she messed up. Tickle crabs. The kids abuse dad by tickling him. I hate being tickled. I hate being tickled so much. Just entirely for that, I would put this at the least likely so far. You know what? No, we're putting it down in the don't like. Just entirely because I hate being tickled. I would put that in the don't like. I don't like being tickled. But yeah, the kids basically are crabs that tickle. And then Bandit is like trying to get Chili to help him out with it, but she's like, I've got my own problems. And he's like, oh. It's just a bland episode. Escape. This episode is almost entirely like animated in like crayon drawings. So like Bingo and Bluey are drawing it, and it's so fun because they bring back this drawing style in the episode Dragon, one of my favorite episodes of the show, which we'll get into in season 3 when we do the season 3 review. And yeah, this episode was the first to do that, and it was a neat episode. I'd say the whole episode is, if you haven't seen it, the whole episode is they're trying to get Bluey and Pingo are trying to chase after their parents after they realize their parents are trying to spend a day without them, and the parents are trying to get away. But it's all in imagination. It's not actually real. They're doing this on a car ride to Nana's house. Yeah, Escape's a fun one. I'd put it probably right here in between Sticky Gecko and Fancy Restaurant. Bus. It's another one of those episodes where the kids play a game. The whole family plays a game. This time they're riding a bus, and Chili has a crush on the bus driver, who turns out is married to a giraffe. Here come, and then the grannies. The grannies are back from the episode Grannies. I feel like this was better than Trains, but that's it. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of the they're all playing a game episodes, I guess, in my opinion, which kind of sucks because they can be fun episodes, it seems, but not all the time. Queens, Bluey and Bingo are taking turns being the queen, but none of them want to be the queen. They want to be the queen's butler. But, you know, yeah, it makes no sense. Why wouldn't you want to be the queen? Why would you want to be the butler? I don't know. It's another down there episode. Probably, honestly, I'd put it Charades better than it, and that would be it. It'd kind of be like right there. It's okay. It's fine in my opinion. It's fine. Flat Pack, I am putting this in the love it. I am sorry. This episode is beautiful. Bluey and Bingo go through different stages of life while also going through different stages of evolution while their parents are building a swing. And I don't know how they do that in 7 minutes. How they get that done in 7 minutes and make me almost cry at the end, when at the scene where it's like implied that Bluey's character died and went to heaven. It's like that scene gets me every time I watch it. It's a fun episode, and I love Flat Pack. I would definitely recommend that to someone watching the show for the first time. Helicopter. Bluey wants to play helicopter with a stump at school because she's upset because she can't go to her friend Honey's house because Bingo takes precedence over her life and the dad can't bring her to hockey practice. So Bingo has to go to hockey practice with the mom, but then the mom has to take Bluey. It's fine. It's fine. It's kind of like right there. It's just a bland episode, in my opinion. It's not one that I care about. I'd say it's fine, but I'd put it there. And now we get to one of the two highest rated episodes of Bluey of all time. I think they're both at a 9.9 out of 10 on IMDb. Sleepy Time. This is a good episode. I'm already putting it in the like it. I'd probably put it as the best like it. I don't think it's a love it. That's going to be controversial, but I personally don't love it. I think the episode's great. It made me cry near the end. But, and I can understand why it's almost everyone's favorite episode, but it just personally wasn't one of my favorites. But I still loved it. The whole episode is Bingo is trying to sleep in her own bed at night, but a whole dream shared between the family during nighttime kind of just like messes that up. And it's such a fun episode to watch. And it's almost entirely all musical with some dialogues at the end and the beginning. It's a good episode, and I understand why it is the highest rated episode of Bluey alongside Cricket. This one actually makes sense, and Cricket does too, even though they're not favorites of mine, although I do like both of them. We get another episode to add to the like it, Granddad. I'm probably gonna put it like probably put it right here. Basically, we get to meet Grandpa Mort, which is Chili's mom, and the kid's grandparent. Don't know about what happened to Grandpa Bob. Don't know if he's alive or not. There's a whole theory on that. But Grandpa Mort is probably my favorite of the older relatives that we see in the show. He's cool. He's fun. He's a nice character. Basically, Bluey and Bingo hide in the forest with Grandpa Mort after Chili wants him to rest after he just got heart surgery. Which, just makes sense. But yeah, it's a good one, in my opinion. I like it. I definitely would recommend it. Seesaw. The kids are trying to knock their dad off the seesaw at the park because he won't get off one side, weighing it down. So they try to weigh it down. This is the introduction of a character named Pom Pom, who's like, I only remember her from this one episode. She's small. That's her character trait. She's small. But she's hardy. I think I'd probably say it's definitely better than these episodes. I'd probably put it right in front of Sticky Gecko. It's an okay one. It's definitely okay. Movies. Bluey wants to go see a movie, but she's a sensitive kid, so the movie scares her. Yeah, it's a movie that we actually see later in the series in like on TV. I'm thinking the episode Tina, we see it on TV. It's so cool. It's like, I love when they bring stuff back like that. But yeah, Bluey's trying to watch the movie. She's scared of it. And Bingo is just absolutely crazy. The movie theater people are very, very much patient people, because I feel like any people in real life would be upset if Bluey, Bingo, and Bandit did what they did in this episode. Yeah. I'm gonna put it probably right here in between bus and trains. It's an okay one. Library. Muffin visits Bluey and Bingo to have a play date. They play a library, but since Uncle Stripe was like, "Oh, Bluey, Muffin, you're the most special kid in the world," she's like, "Huh, I don't have to listen to anyone." And she's kind of mean throughout the episode. And then like Stripe's like, "You're not." And then she's like, "Oh." I'll admit that that part was funny where he's like, "You know how I said you're the most special kid in the world? Well, you're not." And she's like, "Oh." But yeah, this is kind of like a mean spirited episode towards Bluey and Bingo. It's one of those moments that I don't like from Muffin. Muffin's got her good moments, but this is not one of them. I'd put it probably right here in front of Tickle Crabs, but behind Hairdressers. Barky Boats. Bluey's school is visited by older classmates who are buddies of the younger classmates, and Bluey and Mackenzie are the ones we focus on in particular. Bluey tries to create a fairy garden while Mackenzie tries to play barky boats, but Captain and Mia, their buddies, keep trying to get with each other because they like each other. And Bluey and Mackenzie feel upset because they're like, "Oh, you don't care about us?" Oh, hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. One of our cats knocked something over. But yeah, they get upset. They were also fighting in the episode because, like, Bluey. Because, like, they spoke at the same time and someone's like, "Aw, the two are gonna get married." But that's a lie. John Luke and Bluey are gonna get married. But yeah, uh, Barky Boats is okay. It's definitely in the okays. Probably somewhere about. You know what? If I could move these things around easier, it'd be easier. Probably somewhere above favorite thing. Burger Shop. Bandit's trying to be a nice dad and let the kids decide when they want to go to bed. But, you know, you're choosing to be a nice dad to just the worst kids to do it to because Bluey and Bingo, all they want to do is stay up late and play Burger Shop. You didn't think this one through, Bandits. You didn't think this one through. It's an okay one. It's one I don't really particularly look forward to watching, but it's fine. I'd probably put it above Charades, but that's it. It's not one I particularly look forward to. Circus is going down low here. There's a new character in the episode named Hercules, and he's just a jerk. So basically, during an election day, Bluey and friends are trying to play circus, but then like this big kid named Hercules comes in and he's all like, "Huh, I'm gonna take over your game. I suck. I'm mean." Bluey's trying to be like a responsible and nice leader, and Hercules is like, "Hi, suck." Yeah, I don't like this episode. I don't like it. It's not good. Swim school. Bingo, Bandit, and Chili are trying to go swimming and learn swim school from Bluey, who is their teacher. But their second teacher is really not the nicest teacher. Also, they can't stop telling on each other. Although the second teacher's like, "Oh, I want you to tell each other. You know what? That's how you'll pass my class." Bluey, you're not helping your parents whatsoever. Um, we're gonna put it probably. It's not one I really care about. I'm gonna put it better than better than Bus is where I say it belongs. But that's all you're getting. Yeah. Cafe, I like this episode. I'm gonna put it higher up. probably around like right here-ish. Bluey makes friends with a new girl at the playground named Winnie. Meanwhile, Bandit makes friends with her father, Fido, and while Bluey and Winnie are like instantly just like, oh yeah, we're friends. Bandit and Fido are kind of just like, we're gonna take it slow. And so the two are working together to try to get their fathers to like each other so that they can go spend breakfast together. It's a nice, fun episode. Postman, which also is entitled Postman and Grounds Lava. Bluey is trying to stop his parents from fighting. Her parents, I keep saying he. Bluey's trying to stop her parents from fighting because they have a little squabble. And she doesn't like that. So she's trying to get them to stop fighting. So she's playing Postman in order to send notes to the two of them so they'll like each other again. But during in the middle of it, she already had promised Bingo that to play Grounds Lava with her. So now the two games kind of collide into Bluey trying to deliver a letter to the mom. And it's a good one. It's a good one to watch. I like how Bluey and Bingo keep constantly arguing throughout the episode despite the fact that they don't want to. But they do. We're going to put this one above Barky Boats. I wish I could have gotten the picture that said Postman and Grounds Lava. My thing just turned off. My speaker. That gave me a heart attack. Yeah, Postman, right there. The Quiet Game. So apparently, Steve Irwin's. Is it Steve Irwin? Yeah, Steve Irwin's son, Robert Irwin, actually makes a cameo in this episode as the new character Alfie. And Alfie's awesome. Basically, the dad is upset that Bluey and Bingo are loud, and he wants them to be quiet. So he's like, how about you should play the quiet game? At first they take it like, ooh, it's a fun game, we'll play it. But then when the dad admits that he just wanted them to shut up, they get upset and don't quit the game. So he's forced to try and get out of them what birthday present Muffin wants without them being able to talk. And it's a fun one. It's one of the episodes that has a cool cameo. I'd put it probably better than Seesaw. I'd probably put it up there as one of the better ones. Mr. Monkey Jocks. The kids are upset that Bandit is throwing out all their toys. So they try to show Bandit that they actually like all their toys. Specifically a one that is just a monkey wearing jocks. But, yeah. Bandit's like, wow, you never play with him. And they're like, yeah, we do. And he's like, okay, show me that he's special. And then, like, the kids proceed to torment him by making the monkey better than him. And then Bandit flips it on them, and then they all end up homeless. And Bandit is his butler. It's just one of those that's okay. Probably better than Queens, but that's it. It's one of those episodes that just escalates really quickly and just, oh my gosh, this happened. Double Babysitter is my favorite episode of the season. I love the episode so much. It is our first introduction to Bandit's older brother, Radley. And it is a beautiful episode. So basically, the parents are going out for the night, and they hired Bandit's older brother Radley to be the babysitter. However, they had already previously asked Bluey's godmother Frisky if she would be a babysitter, but the kids are like, no, we want you both. So the two end up becoming babysitters for the night and end up getting to like each other, and eventually they become a couple by the end of the episode. It's revealed in Christmas Swim that they do become a couple, and it's just such a good episode to watch. It is my favorite episode of the season. I'd say the only episode that could compete with this episode would be Dad Baby, just because it's funny, but this is just a wholesome episode. I love it. It is one of the ones that I look forward to every time I watch this season. I love it. It's a fun one. Bad mood. She says something slightly mean about Bingo, and she's like, you know what? No, I'm in a bad mood. I'm gonna torture you guys. Bingo's kind of like a jerk throughout the episode. I'm gonna put it right here in the. I'm actually gonna keep it in the it's okay, but I think it's kind of worse than Library. Bingo is kind of just a jerk in the episode because the mom slightly said one thing that was just because she's like Bingo was like being naughty, and so she's like you're being cheeky, and then Bingo's like what? I'm not terrible. I'm not a cheeky person. She's like no, you're being cheeky, not you are cheeky. And then Bingo's like I'm in a bad mood now. Octopus. Um, Bluey and Chloe play octopus with Bluey's dad, and Bluey and Chloe likes it so much that she tries to play it with her dad, but her dad just doesn't know how to play it. Dad just plays it wrong to her, and so she gets upset with him, and they end up coming together at the end after the dad researches on octopi, and yeah, they create a loving game together. But yeah, I didn't really like the part in the episode where Chloe was just like, Bluey's dad is better than you to her dad. Like, that is just a low blow right there. And because of that, I'm putting that right above Hairdressers. Like, that part really sold that episode as just not one of the better ones. It hurt to hear that. When I heard that, it was just like, why? Why would you say that? That is a terrible thing to say, like, to your dad. Just like, oh, someone else's dad is better than you. Yeah, that's just terrible. Bin night. Bluey and Bingo and the dad keep, like, every other night, like, bringing out trash bags for garbage collection. And throughout the different nights, Bingo keeps telling a story about this new classmate that keeps calling her names. Banjo is the new classmate. We never get to see him, but Banjo keeps calling her names, like Bobo Head, I think is what he calls her, and she gets upset. But yeah, it's fun to watch the kids take out the trash with their dad, and then Bluey throughout the episode is trying to find things that she wants to become in the future. It's a fun episode. I'd put it right there, right in front of the Quiet Game, because I do like the episode. It's a fun one. Muffin Cone. Muffin won't stop sucking her thumb, so her mom puts a cone on her. She puts a dog cone on her to try to break her of the habit, but like that just does not help the kids when they're trying to play games. And they have to come up with ways to like play the games so they can include Muffin wearing a cone. And yeah, I like how, although later in the episode they stop playing with Muffin, I like how they did really try to work around her. Unlike how in Seesaw, when Pom Pom couldn't get up the ledge, they're just like, oh, we don't want to play with her anymore. But yeah, they tried in this episode, but then they gave up. Then the mom encouraged them to continue because, it was kind of embarrassing for Muffin. I'm going to say I do like this episode. I'd put it probably right here. And honestly, I'm actually going to do a bit of a switch around here. We're going to move Cafe and Rug Island. Yeah. It's definitely a good episode, in my opinion. Dang it, now I'm going to have to scroll down here. We don't have many episodes left. Duck Cake. Bandits trying to bake a cake for Bingo's birthday, but it just doesn't go well. Meanwhile, Bluey just wants to help out, but Bandit wants her to clean up her toys. Bluey, throughout the episode, learns the importance of helping out, and not just because it's a nice thing to do. And I do like the episode a lot. I'd probably put it somewhere in the like it. It's part of a two-part episode, the other part being Handstand. I would put it right around here, and I'm actually gonna drop Stumpfest down to the It's Okay. Not because I don't want to fill up this section, just because I just want to put this one here. It's an okay one at best. Thinking back to it, but yeah. I'll put Duck Cake right at the end. Handstand is part two. At her birthday party, Bingo is trying to do a handstand, and when she succeeds, no one sees her. And she keeps trying to get people to notice her as she's doing her handstand, but no one wants to. Meanwhile, Nana is like trying to help out, but like no one needs her help. And eventually the two come together, and Nana helps out Bingo by watching her do a handstand. And it's a really neat episode. But it's just okay, in my opinion. I probably would put it. I do like Sticky Gecko more than it. I'd probably put it right here in between Sticky Gecko and Bingo. It's an okay one. Road Trip. I don't particularly care about this episode too much. It's not one that I hate, it's just a lower one. Bandit is trying to rush the kids on a road trip, but the kids are bored because they have to sit in a car for 4 hours to a campsite, and they're just bored. And the mom's trying to cheer them up and play games, but she can't think of enough of them. And yeah, like meanwhile, Bandit's all like, "We need to get to the campsite first, or else we're gonna have a tough campsite visit." And it's not one that I think is terrible. I just don't like it. Like all of this, like I'm not putting it in the don't like just because it's not a bad episode. It's just a boring one in my opinion out of all of these. It's just not one that I like. It's not one that I look forward to when going back and watching the season, in my opinion. Which sucks. Ice cream. Uh, the girls end up getting ice cream, but are trying to share it, but, suck at sharing, and it leads to them just results in their ice cream melting. Bandit meat eats chocolate ice cream. Dash should kill dogs. It's an okay one. I probably would put it right there in between bus and swim school. One of like Bluey's most memorable quotes, though, comes from this episode. Dunny, apparently, according to Wikipedia, it's the show's 100th episode. Chili does not want the kids to say the word dunny, which is just an Australian word for toilet. She wants them to say toilet. But they have so much fun saying it. It's just a toilet humor episode. um, it's fine. It's okay. I do though like how it's one of the episodes that takes place all in one scene, like all in one area, and it's just in the parents' bedroom. It's a cool episode to do that, but you know what? It's just not one of. I think it's probably about here. Actually, no. I'd put it better than Burger Shop, but I'd say it's about there. Right in that little area between Burger Shop and trains. Typewriter. Bluey claims that she can write a better story than Calypso, so she goes to find the real typewriter so she can write a real story. However, she gets caught up on an adventure with a bunch of her classmates and ends up using her imagination to come up with an amazing story on an imaginary typewriter. Calypso hid the typewriter. I don't know why she did that. I really don't know why she did that. Like, I'm trying to figure out. I don't understand why she did that in the episode. Like, it's never really seen that she has a problem with Bluey playing with the real typewriter. But, like, it just doesn't make any sense why she would hide it. It's an okay one, but I think it's kind of lame that she just hid it and there's, like, no explanation as to why. I'm just gonna put it there just because it makes no sense that she hid it like that. Yeah, you'd see this coming. Baby Race is in the love it. Baby Race is an amazing episode. I talked about it a little bit earlier when talking about the show, but yeah, essentially, Chili tells Bluey and Bingo the story about how Bluey learned to walk, and we get a flashback to Bluey as a baby, as Chili has a race against Judo, racing Bluey against Judo's mom, racing Bluey against Judo in order to get Bluey to walk first. But she ends up losing and she feels like she's a failure of a mother. And I like how, looking back through the episode, the show, learning that the episode was about a miscarriage she had, like, it makes sense how she acted in this episode. She was very much scared whenever Bluey wasn't doing things like the other kids, and it makes sense. She wanted to get things right with this child. She had a second chance with Bluey. And so she felt like if she was doing it wrong, maybe something was wrong with Bluey. And it makes sense. And the ending scene where Coco's mom comes in and basically tells Chili, "You're doing a good job," that's a heartwarming scene to watch. And yeah, it's a good episode all the way around. Christmas Swim is the second and only other time we see Radley. It's Christmas time in Australia, and the kids go swimming because Australia's hot, so there's no snow. Instead, they swim. But Bluey gets a present of a little doll that she names Bartleby, and she tries to introduce Bartleby to the family, but the healers are a bit rough. When I say a bit rough, they break Bartleby's arm. Uh, Bandit squishes him under the water. Stripe, acting as as a crocodile, just like pulls him under the water. Um, it's a good thing that doll wasn't alive because it would be dead. But I liked this episode. It is definitely very high on this list because you get to see Radley and Frisky again. I think after this, Frisky appears in only one more episode so far as a cameo in the episode The Decider. But yeah, it was fun to watch this episode. I would definitely put it as my favorite of the It's Okay. It's a very, very good one. And to end off the season, we have Easter. Bluey and Bingo desperately run around their house trying to find their Easter candy after believing that the Easter Bunny doesn't like them because he brought them Easter eggs late last year. So they think that the Easter Bunny just doesn't remember them. But Bluey is just such a good older sister in the episode. She tries as much as she can to convince Bingo that the Easter Bunny does care about them. Until when they get a repeat clue, which ends up getting them back into their room, she's like, you know what, maybe he doesn't. And they get upset about it. But then Bingo ends up realizing that, yeah, it was a clue that they were getting led to the eggs because the parents decided to hide them, and it was fun. It's an okay one though at best. I'd say it is higher though. Probably about I'd say probably about here in between Rug Island and Fancy Restaurant. I do like it, but it's not one of my favorites of the season. And that is season 2. All 52 episodes. Um, we're just gonna go in here. My favorite episode of the series of the season, not of the series. My favorite episode of the series is in season 3, and you will see that when we do the season 3 review. Of all, I think 47 episodes that are out so far, I'm gonna release that one on July 12th, which is the day that new Bluey episodes are coming to Disney Plus. So I was like, you know what, I want to do that. Yeah. But yeah, Double Babysitter is my favorite of the season, followed very closely up by Dad Baby, and my least favorite episode is Tickle Crabs. That's it for this tier list. Next time we'll be doing season 3. That'll be on Wednesday, July 12th. I'll try to get it done by then because I have to watch the whole season too. I have to watch season 3 again, which most of the episodes are not on Disney Plus. I think only 27 of the 47 episodes are on Disney Plus right now. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.